Alright, welcome back everybody. Let's keep going. What do you mean by guidance? The bobbing white sprite bot was silent a moment. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here and guess you like books, am I right? Well, yes, there's a great book for people traveling through the equestrian wasteland. Pretty sure there's a copy in the Ponyville library. Give me just a second. Okay. I sent the tag for it to your pitbuck. My eyes widen in alarm. The Ponyville library? You mean the place where I just barely escaped from? The town full of sick psycho ponies? Are you trying to get me killed? Look, you've got to trust somebody. The memory of Monterey Jack surfaced in my mind. Why should I trust you? I've never even met you. You're hiding behind a robot radio. Oh, I don't know. How about me saving your life part? If I was trying to kill you, why would I have done that? The voice, Watcher, had a point. Before I could even say anything to that effect, however, the sprite bot burped static and began to playing music again. The music featured multiple harmonicas and trombones. It flew lazily away, as if it didn't care I was there. Oh, I could have just went to there and stopped. The Ponyville library was in a tree. Not a tree house, but literally inside a tree. A massive, gnarled tree bigger than most buildings had been grown in the middle of the town. Clearly the project of magic, and hollowed out to be a public library. The south side of the tree was scorched black and dead, but there were still a few leaves clinging to life on the opposite branches. The tree was surrounded by a wide open space with absolutely no cover. Any hope my luck at the Karasu boutique would hold out here was dashed when I looked up at the highest balcony and finally spotted the sniper pony. An earth pony armed with a powerful looking rifle. The rifle was attached to the balcony railing with a gliding swivel mount, allowing the raider to aim it wherever she could see. Now there's a lot of mares here. The only safe approach was from directly behind her, where the door to the balcony and the narrow top of the tree beyond blocked her line of sight. There were surely more raider ponies inside. Sneaking up carefully from the only direction that wouldn't mean instant death, I was trembling with nerves by the time I reached the door. As swiftly and silently as I could, I slipped out of Ponyville and straight into pony hell. Pony corpses everywhere. Not like the bridge where ponies had fallen in battle. These ponies had been mutilated, desecrated, and put on display. Some poor pony's body hung from the ceiling, head and hooves severed and flesh sliced open and pulled back to reveal the meat and bones beneath. Heads and limbs hung from chains like sick party decorations. The rotting body of a pink pony with a violet mane was mounted, spread eagle over a bookcase with railroad spikes. Two had been driven into her eyes. On another wall, a torso had been skinned and sliced open, the pony's entrails pulled out to decorate the shelves like streamers. Blood and gore everywhere, dripping from the ceiling and painting the walls in equal parts with the graffiti that had somehow gotten even more mocking and cruel. Between the bookcases, pre-war posters were mounted in shattered frames. Some raider pony had painted over one of them, reading his magic, with a crude but effective depiction of a mega spell detonation. Another, the most beautiful ponies have beautiful minds, was covered over by a painting that was simply pornographic. The books had been burned in piles. The floor was layered with ash and filth. The stench was unbearable. I got some hints here. Reading is magic. The picture probably includes Twilight Sparkle, and includes a mega spell detonation. I think Twilight, being the genius, but might have had she is might have had something to do with the creation of the mega spells. Well, the other one, the most beautiful ponies have beautiful minds. Rarity? And that doesn't sound like what is it saying? Only beautiful ponies are smart? I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Ah! Too far. There we go. I forgot to set my timer again. My eyes kept going wide. The room was dominated by 3 cages, 2 large square ones, and a smaller one hanging from the ceiling, which was barely big enough for a pony. Captives, filthy, beaten, and misused, were curled up inside, the hooves tied together with stained ropes. The 2 in the nearest cage looked at me pitifully, and my heart wrenched painfully. My eyes kept going wider until I had to clench them shut and bite my own hoof to keep from screaming. I backed against the door, heaving, unable to breathe properly, not wanting to breathe this air at all. The horror of the room flooded over me, drowning me. I pulled my hoof away, barely fast enough to avoid vomiting my apple all over myself. The stench of it mixed with the reek of the room assaulted me further. "Please," whispered from one of the ponies, terrified to raise her voice. "Help us." This was beyond horror. I pressed my eyes tighter and tighter, then opened them in a wave of brutal determination cut through the sickness. "Please, help." That was no voice. Disembodied and trapped in an eternal loop coming from some radio signal flooded through the ether. These were living ponies. They were right here in front of me, and they needed help. And I was damned if those rotten raiders... I was as damned as those rotten raiders if I was going to make them big again. The screwdriver and bobby pin slipped out immediately and began working on the nearest lock. With a click, the metal cage door swung open. Inside, 2 ponies, bound and laying in their own filth. I realized uncomfortably that I had nothing to cut the ropes with. I tried to untie them with my magic. The first pony's ropes were so wet with blood that I could pull them apart. But the second ponies were bound too tightly. Are you for real? Am I free?" I nodded, then glanced at the other ponies. I had no idea how to reach the one in the hanging cage. "If you could help me with..." The pony blanched and shook her mane. No. I can't stay here any longer. Here, take these supplies." I managed to squirrel them away. Fucking quest rewards. Where'd you hide those? Where'd you hide that shit? The pony dug into the floor muck. Oh, you hid them in shit, literally. With her hoof, revealing the utterly pathetic pile of scraps laying on a dirty rag that amounted to her entire worldly I feel so bad! Like, oh, no, you keep those. You need those more than I do. A can of diced carrots, a box of pre-war single-serve cake, a handful of bottle caps. It broke my heart. I know, it's breaking my heart. Oh my god, that's sad. That's sad, man. Oh, God. Is it weird that I can read horror and gore and mutilation and rape without feeling anything? But the second an incredibly poor person offers you their meager scraps of worldly possessions, I break up? Oh, God. I'm too soft. I paused, my eye catching a single shotgun. No, you keep it. You keep it. You need it more. I paused, my eye catching a single shotgun shell in the pile. Actually, I'll take this shell. Thanks. I magically opened the shotgun and slid it into place. Now I had 2. The pony had already folded up the rag, picking it up with her teeth and slinking rapidly out the door before I could say anything else. I sent a prayer to Celestia for her and focused on saving the others. I looked over at the second pony, who hadn't said a word. Oh, God. I recoiled as I saw the blood caking the inside of her flanks. What had these raiders done? You see what I mean when I say slavers are better than raiders? At least the slavers need you whole. Oh my god. Looking around, I took the shape of the room, trying to blot out the horrors everywhere I turned. Above the front door was an aged fresco of a beautiful white-winged unicorn. Celestia? Unusually large and graceful. A book floating in front of her, her wings outstretched over a rainbow of falls as they smiled up and listened to story time. Not only had the ponies painted over the images of blood and knives and violence, the fiasco had been used for target practice. Everything from bullets to flung excrement was now was now shattered and stained unspeakably. The room was oddly shaped, with balconies and rooms branching leerly off in all directions. I could hear the voice of raider ponies in the other room, and judging from the decor, knives wouldn't be far behind. "I'll be right back," I promised with a whisper, then levitated the combat shotgun, moving towards the nearest interior door. I jumped as the door swung open at me. A raider pony stepped through and stopped, staring at me blankly. His coat was dark black under his makeshift armor, his mane wild. Holsters were strapped to his flanks with a small gun, the other holding a blade whose edge was jagged like a saw, ensuring the most grievous of wounds. In slack, horrified disbelief, I saw that his cutie mark was actually a splayed torso. Oh, that's gotta suck with your destiny to be a raider. Oh, God. I jumped back, the raider pony recovered quickly, swinging his head around to draw the small gun with his teeth. What, was he going to pull the trigger with his tongue? Just before Sats helped me pump my 2 shot. Oh, you wasted both of them! You're at point blank. One would have done it. I felt no remorse as his head turned into spaghetti sauce that splattered over his instant lifeless body. I hadn't just killed a pony. These raiders had given up any right to the title. These were not ponies. These were sick monsters that must be put down. And Celestia helped me if I wasn't going to do just that. I didn't realize until that moment. But I was mad. Ugh. Got kind of sick, Lil. The pure evil of this place had shaken me to the core, and my core was furious. Collecting the knife and gun, I dropped the empty combat shell to the side. The smaller weapon was not going to be as powerful, but was fully loaded. Six shots in a revolving. Ooh, you got a revolver. And that was good, because there was no way that noise wasn't going to bring every raider pony running. The first 3 raider ponies galloped into the main library almost immediately, one of them crying out thrilled insults. Sats helped me fire 3 shots at her head. The first 2 missed, but the third found her. Oh, why do you miss? You should have put skills in guns. But the third found a home in her ugly red eye, and down she went. A second started firing another small firearm at me. What do you know? They do shoot with their tongues. Bullets impacting the doorframe. One shot punctured one of my saddlebags, but didn't pierce flesh. I crouched, poked my head around, levitating the revolver in the open doorway, fired 2 shots at the second pony, but my pitbug's targeting spell was refreshing. And without, I might as well have been aiming at the ceiling. Still, the gunslinger raider skidded away, using one of the captive ponies for cover. The dishonorableness poured gasoline on the fire of my anger. Oh, that's a good sentence. I stepped fully into the doorway, looking for the dirt, spotting him near the far end of the main room. Timer stopped again. God damn it. It might be stuck on that little part. I felt... where are we? A third raider pony lowered... Wait, where are we? Okay, third raider pony lowered his head, a pull cue clenched in his teeth, and charged at me. Really? I took a single step back. The pony rushed at me full tilt. It was nearly on me when the end of the pull cue stuck in the doorway, snapping him to a stop. I fired the revolver's last shot point blank into his neck. Even I didn't need sats at that range. Shouldn't you ponies be smarter than that? You live in a library. As the body slumped to the floor, bleeding from the gaping wound through its neck, I saw the gun-wielding raider standing in the open, aiming through the door. I dived to the side as shots rang out, and screamed as I felt bullets sink into my side. It hurt. More than I thought it would. I fell against the wall, leaving a bloody smear as I collapsed next to the doorway. Pain seared in my side. With each breath, I could hear the clop of the raider's hooves as he approached cautiously. I tried to focus my magic to close the door, but the body of Pull Q Pony was in the way! I cast about the room. It was a kitchen. On a table, surrounded by knives, was the body of a fearsome creature of scales and teeth. The raider pony with the displayed torso mark had been carving it up to cook. A refrigerator, an oven. There were scattered books, but all ancient, destroyed, and unreadable. I was beginning to doubt the Watcher's assertion that there was a book here like he described. Then, my eyes fell on what I had been hoping for. In one corner, mounted on a wall, over several boxes of ammunition, was a faded yellow box with a pink butterfly symbol on it. A medical box. Double luck. The box looked to be locked. There were knife scrapes all over it where the raiders had attempted to get it open, and it should still have a few medical poultices, maybe even a healing potion. But I had to survive the raider pony first. I was wounded and out of bullets. Crossing to the ammo boxes with me moving across the open doorway. Scooting back, I looked around again and focused my magic through the pain. When the raider pony stepped in, he was met by a swarm of knives flying at his face. Knives? Gah! He turned and fled back. The knives all either missed or struck uselessly against his armor. I was even more pathetic with melee weapons than I was with guns, but I got him out of the way, long enough to make for the ammo boxes. Luck was with me again. She put all her points in luck. That explains it. While one box had ammo in large clips for a type of gun I had yet to see, the other had bullets designed for the revolver. The raider pony poked his head in again, calling out, "You're all out of knives, missy! Why don't you just come out? I'll promise I'll let you die eventually." His head turned in my direction. His eyes went, "You dumb fuck! You forgot there was ammo in there." The raiders are stupid. His head turned in my direction. His eyes went wide. I didn't know if it was the look in my eyes or the revolver. Sats was with me again, and this bastard wasn't going to get another chance to use raped and beaten captives as a shield. Alright, we gotta cut the video again. God, 18 minutes this time.